Who are we voting for? Meet the candidates. Who Are We Voting For was created so we could understand who the candidates are and what they are about. This is not an endorsement for any candidate. This is for the voter to be more educated about who we're voting for.
My name is Amanda Neatrour. I am a resident of Sheridan in District 2 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm a mom to two beautiful boys, 3 and 5.5. Wife to Russell. We just celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary on April 18th. And primary caregiver to my mom, who was diagnosed formally with Alzheimer's about 2.5 years ago. And so we are a family of 5. Also, we've got our rescue Maltese, Tiberius, who, oh my goodness, he's about 9 years old now, super ornery, but we love him very much. And we live in a home that my husband and I have been fixing up since 2016. A beautiful old home, over 100 years old, was not habitable, and spent 9 months getting it to the point that we could just move into it. Of course, no kids yet. So we could do things like live in the attic and not be able to use the rest of the house except for the bathroom and a kitchen that was essentially plywood countertops and 2x4s. Won't get into what it was like cooking Thanksgiving meal in that kitchen. Let's just say I'm grateful that I now have a fully finished and functioning kitchen. I am the owner and founder of Lewis Neatrour Group. It is a leadership and organizational development firm, a full range of services. I am an ACC certified coach through the International Coaching Federation. So I coach clients. I specialize in leaders who are high-level leaders. So CEOs, executive directors, board members, board chairs. A lot of the folks that I coach are senior level leaders. And it's something I greatly enjoy because when it comes to leadership and leaders in general, we don't teach leaders that being human is actually the most important aspect of leadership, because to be transformational, you have to be authentic. So I really take great pride and joy in being able to help leaders connect to the inherent strengths they already have and how to show up as themselves and be fully aware of who they are and engage in that intentional self-awareness to become great leaders. And on the organizational development side and the consulting side, I help organizations to identify policies and practices and how intentional they're being in building and creating an organization that actually upholds service and wellness when it comes to engaging with the community, the people that they serve, that utilize their services, whatever kind of organization it is, employees and volunteers, and whether or not they're being considered in how the organization is built and how it runs. And of course, back to the leadership, right? And how the leaders are leading and running. And so training, again, I said it was full service. I truly am full service, and I really enjoy it. I am an activist and self-advocate. So disability rights advocacy is something I've been doing for a number of years. I've volunteered for several years with the FISA Foundation on their grant review committee. And I found myself on all the boards that I serve on really helping, again, in my role with connecting with how are we looking at those who are most marginalized and making decisions about who's being funded, who's being supported, not being supported. Are we using a lens and looking at leaders and what they're changing and bringing? Also serve and volunteer on the Disability and Race Advocacy Task Force. So as a disabled woman, I bring that lived experience and, again, my leadership expertise and experience and community development to that, something I'm very proud of. I have served as an expert panelist and participated in reports on how we can better serve people with disabilities and the people who care for them. As a caregiver advocate, I I am very proud of the work I've done to highlight the needs of caregivers. So something else about me, I am actually the reigning Mrs. Pennsylvania American. And my platform is Leading with Care, raising awareness of the needs of caregivers. I am a sandwich caregiver. So some of the highlights of being Mrs. Pennsylvania has been volunteering with the Alzheimer's Association, being able to go to their leadership conference, but also as Mrs. Pennsylvania, championing bills to establish the first ever Office of Alzheimer's, Dementia, and Related Disorders, which I am very proud to say that bill was passed with bipartisan efforts in the Pennsylvania State House. And so we finally have an office that can help to coordinate those services for all Pennsylvanians. And then also the bill to make insurance companies cover the cost of early detection for dementia and Alzheimer's. Again, was passed. Very proud of that volunteer work and also work I've done with other organizations on behalf of parents and the need for comprehensive care and making sure that we're caring for the caregivers so that our children and our babies can be well. I am former chair of Pittsburgh's Gender Equity Commission, and I was one of the inaugural members. So I served for 4 years. So probably for me, one of the most important aspects of who I am is as an artist and a musician. I attended Howard University, got my bachelor's and master's in classical voice performance. I attended the Accademia dell'Arte in Florence, in Arezzo, Italy, and had a voice teacher in Florence, Italy, for an entire school year during my second year of grad school, where I studied opera and physical theater. I actually got to study movement with a German acrobat from the Berlin Circus, something a lot of people don't know about me. So yes, studying clowning, studying movement with an acrobat is work that I have done. I used to be able to do a great handstand. I don't know where I am with that these days, but it was a wonderfully beautiful experience. And I've been studying opera and classical voice since I was about 14 years old. So have done concerts all over the world. I did co-produce an all-woman opera here in Pittsburgh that was performed at the August Wilson Center. It was the first ever all-woman production of Missy Mazzoli's opera, Song from the Uproar, and the first time a Black woman was ever, there was ever a production featuring the story and the voice of a Black woman. And I performed the starring role 7 weeks after giving birth to my second child. So yes, very proud of that and the fact that it was a social justice work, not only an opportunity for me to highlight my skills as an opera singer, but also to highlight gender-based disparities in opera, theater arts, and all of the women got paid and every aspect of the production was by a woman, including women who have never done or worked in an opera production before. My music is very important to me. We have instruments all over the house, and my boys love to play with them and engage with them. We have dance parties a lot. Going to concerts is a favorite of mine. I'm proud of the fact that I saw Phil Collins on his very last tour, the Still Not Dead Yet tour that I bought tickets for, despite the fact that it was a week before my due date, which my husband was not very happy about. But I figured seeing Phil Collins perform and the chance that I might not go into labor during or before the concert was a good enough reason to buy tickets and go. I did get to go to the concert, so yay. And I was out to hear. Yeah, I mean, I had a fellowship at the August Wilson Center to support my opera career. I'm very proud of that. And 40 Under 40, New Pittsburgh Courier Woman of Excellence awardee, and I also was a 2021 finalist for the Pittsburgh Athena Awards. So I love to cook. I love to cook for my family. We love to grill. I love to garden. We're growing strawberries and blueberries in our backyard, and my boys love to pick the strawberries. I have to stop them from eating them. But yeah, that's who I am. And moved to Pittsburgh in 2010. Fun fact, My husband and I both moved to Pittsburgh in April of 2010 from different places. So I was born in DC, grew up in Baltimore, moved to Pittsburgh to study with my voice teacher. My husband moved to Pittsburgh in April 2010 to work as a welder. And then we met in June of 2011. So moved to Pittsburgh, same time, met at Over the Bicycle Bar Cafe. And to date, I think we're the only couple who ever got engaged at the City of Pittsburgh's Valentine's on Ice event, which was a beautiful experience. I actually was working for the city in human resources while down the hall, Parks and Recreation was planning my engagement, and I had no idea. And it was such a beautiful, beautiful moment. So I just love the fact that, moved here, met my husband here, the city played such a big role. And gave birth to my boys at the Midwife Center, Pittsburgh. Shout out to the only freestanding birth center in Western Pennsylvania and the incredible people there who took good care of me. And I love Pittsburgh. It's a wonderful city. And there's just something special about choosing to live somewhere and finding your people, finding your community, and finding your chosen family. And I definitely feel embraced and really connected to this place. And I'm grateful that I live here and I'm raising my family here. So I've worked for the City of Pittsburgh in Human Resources and for the Peduto administration. So I am very familiar with the city operations, the departments, how it works, how it runs, the budget process, as well as the role of City Council. I have worked with and partnered with members of City Council on different initiatives when I worked for the City of Pittsburgh. And so I have the knowledge of the city, I have that experience. Additionally, I was chair of Pittsburgh's Gender Equity Commission. And so in that role, which was a volunteer role, I worked to bring innovation to the city. In fact, under my leadership, creating the Workforce Equity Committee on the GEC, we brought Boston's Pay Equity Initiative to Pittsburgh. And we're the last government entity to partner with them on with AAUW, the American Association of University Women, to bring their salary negotiation program and training to Pittsburgh. That we actually successfully were able to implement and facilitate so that residents could get free training so they could advocate for themselves for better pay. I'm also proud of the fact that due to my efforts and the efforts of those I worked with, organizations like the YWCA, Black Women's Policy Agenda, and Women and Girls Foundation picked up where we left off and have created the Level Up campaign, encouraging and compelling business leaders and owners to instill policies and practices that we know would lead to pay equity to help close the gender wage gap. And all of that is work I did as a volunteer. Additionally, I have the experience of running an office and managing a budget and understand the importance of a budget. I was the director of the Women's Leadership and Mentorship Program at Robert Morris University, director of the Center for Equity and Professional Advancement. At the time when I was still at RMU, I was co-chair of the President's Anti-Racism Task Force, and I'm a business consultant. So as a small business owner, I understand the needs of small businesses. My former firm wrote the report on LGBTQIA+ small business owners, their unique needs, and what it takes to support them. And shocker, they exist in every single of the 9 districts in the city of Pittsburgh. And this was actually the precursor to looking at the disparity study that the city of Pittsburgh is putting out now. So I understand what it means to know and understand community, what community-centered leadership looks like. I know how to lead. I know how to partner and collaborate. It's something I actually specialize in. I know how to engage in and facilitate difficult conversations that get to the heart of an issue. And I know and understand the importance of accessibility, not just for people with disabilities, but what does it look like to make your neighborhood accessible to everyone? Do you have the resources that are necessary? Is it safe? Can you travel? Can you get to the things that you need? And so I am uniquely positioned because I'm the really one of the few people in a long time and the only person running now who actually brings all of these experiences. And I'm ready. I'm ready to do the job. I was ready yesterday. City Council is a very unique seat in that it really has the power to impact positively or negatively or not at all the lives of people directly. So can someone get to work? Can they get their child to daycare? Can they access fresh food? City Council's job is to make sure people can live their lives, literally, so that they don't have to worry about things like potholes or the snow not being plowed, or whether or not their kid can get home safe, because we have or don't have proper lighting over the sidewalks. These things may seem mundane to people, but I know as a mom, as a caregiver, as a human being, I know how important these things are. As someone who has had to get to work, I know how important these things are. We have to take care of the basic needs and necessities of folks so that they can get out there and live their lives, be entrepreneurs, go to work, take care of their families, take care of themselves. And in District 2, we've got a large number of homeowners, but also people who volunteer, who are stepping up to fill in the gaps because of the lack of what we have. And those people need a leader who will champion their cause, will give them that support, but also bring those resources and fight for them in City Hall so that they can focus on the good works that they're doing. I decided to run because I also recognize the importance of leadership and the impact it has on culture in your district. I know the importance of community connection, of unity, of a culture where neighbors look out for each other, where we're not afraid of each other, but we're embracing the diversity of the folks that live in District 2. Well, there's respect. And you need a leader who not just fights for you, but models how to show that love, that care, that genuine care for their neighbor, and I am that person. I also recognize, too, that when you have that culture locally, it has a major impact at the state level, and dare I say at the national level. We need to bring back that care as the center and the core and the values of the people in City Hall and specifically in my district, because it's missing right now. And that is a core value of mine: love for my neighbor, care for my neighbor, fighting for the humanity of not just myself and my family, but for every other person. That is who I am, and that is the center of every single thing I do. And that is why I know at this time I needed to run, and that is why I am running. District 2 has had the same leadership for 15 years, and that leadership has not served us. We are the most underdeveloped district in the city. We've had the least development, despite, for instance, this current administration at the mayor level giving the most funds for street calming ever. We have the least and have gotten the least, despite the fact that we have the most paved roads. We have food deserts in District 2. 10% of employed folks do not have cars, and yet we are one of the most closed off districts. We have a chance, we have an opportunity for positive change. We have an opportunity for the first time in a long time to elect someone, to elect me, right? Someone who will fight, someone who has innovation, someone who is smart and educated. More than that, cares about everyone. For far too long, we've had some folks who have gotten resources, some folks who have had a direct connection to leadership, while others don't even know that there is an option at the ballot, don't even know that their current council person is not running again. I am running to bring transparency, to bring openness, to bring communication that we currently do not have. And I frankly am excited for the possibilities of what we can have. There are tens of millions of dollars of development happening just across the river in District 1, while we have none of that in District 2. There are dozens of affordable housing projects happening in every other part of the city, while we have had just one, and I'm talking about just in the last 2 years. I'm excited for what we can do when we have a leader who collaborates, who partners, who wants to bring folks in at all levels, whether it's other members of council, the mayor, the county level, the state level, and dare I say national level, to bring in those partnerships and resources so that we can finally have the thriving community that matches the passion and the love that the residents of District 2 have for their neighborhoods and for their district. And it's time, not in 4 years, but now, and we can have that now. People of District 2, the residents of District 2 should vote for me because it's time for us to have the district that we deserve. It's time for us to have the resources and the support and the leadership that matches the love that residents have of their district, of their neighborhoods. And for that, we need transformational leadership. Transformational leaders are authentic. They have integrity. They leave communication open. They are partners, collaborators, and I am all of those things. I am running because I bring all of that, and I know that that is what we need in City Hall. We deserve a fighter. I am a fighter. And I will fight for you, and I will support you regardless of political affiliation, regardless of what neighborhood you live in, your identity, your family, how long you've lived in the district, whether you're a homeowner or a renter. I will fight for you because you are a resident of District 2 and every single person is deserving. It's time for us to have the future we deserve. It's time for us to have the resources. It's time for us to no longer be the district that is left behind. Because just like you, I am tired of watching every other district get tens of millions of dollars in development, get affordable housing, get their homes fixed up. And we don't have those things because we do not have somebody who is fighting for us, and not just a handful of people, but for all of us. I am ready to bring that community-centered leadership and care and be the voice that we all deserve. And so I humbly ask you to support me and partner with me in bringing the future that we need and deserve. Vote for me. The name on the ballot is more of the same. Write in Amanda Neatrour, where it says write-in candidate for City Council District 2 for the change that we need and deserve, and show everyone that the effort is worth it to get what we need and deserve for our district.